Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Palma Yacht Crew right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and today I have Stacey from PYA. How are you, Stacey?
I'm doing very well, thanks, Ria. Hi, everyone.
So, you know what? I'm just going to jump right into it. When you ask people about the PYA, everyone seems to have a different answer. What is it exactly? Let's clear this up once and for all. PYA, it is, this organization, but what is it?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the PYA has been around for many, many years, to be honest. And I think when it was originally formed, the yachting industry and I guess the world was in the area where there wasn't services like Facebook where crew could join together, exchange information, and specifically the yachting industry being very much an English-speaking community. There were a lot of different regulations in different countries in which yachts operated, and the PYA came together as an organization to assist crew with all the regulations and matter that affect their day-to-day working lives. Since then, I mean, back in the day, it was a group of captains who came together, and I think the older generation and the older sort of reputation of the PYA was known as a captain's club. But I think this is something that we've moved away from vastly since the origin of the association, and I think it's sort of important to stress that. Now, I mean, the organization it's a registered charity, so it's very much a crew for crew organization. It's registered in our main offices in Antibes in France, but we've also got an office in Palma and a representative there. And the sort of types of things that we help crew with are, first and foremost is sea service verification. So that's verifying the testimonials and the sea service of crew who are looking then to go on and apply for their certificate of competency and other certification with the MCA in the UK. So we're one of the organisations that can do that for crew. In addition to that, we have a member assistance service team. So that is a team that specifically specialises in advice to crew who are stuck in difficult situations. So, with COVID-19, a lot of crew might have been stuck in disputes or sticky situations with their employers. So we've got professionals who are experienced in maritime law in the PYA who can advise on MLC contracts, SEA contracts, and what crew rights are. So we advise crew what to do in difficult circumstances. In addition to that, I mean, we've got a team who just deals with sort of general advice with when it comes to training, what training the MCA recognizes, what training crew needs to do in order to achieve different certification. And yeah, I mean, there's a range of services that we offer members, but just to clarify, we operate on a membership basis. So we've got about 2,000 members worldwide, even though we've only got, representatives here in Antibes and Palma. The organization serves crew worldwide. So yeah, that's an important thing to note.
Well, I mean, yeah, during this COVID crisis, you were able to help a lot of people. You did have some issues come up and people contacted you and you were able to point them in the right direction. So, it is really reliant upon the fact that people sign up and become members in order to be there to supply these services. Now, these services are free if you're a member?
So, to members?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So all our members pay a yearly membership fee, and we've got our sort of full membership and then shoreside membership. And I guess the only difference in that is obviously a shoreside member wouldn't need their sea service verification as they're not actively working out at sea. But all full members and shore-based members will benefit from our advice service that we offer.
So what sets you apart from the other groups? Because there are a few groups that do help crew.
Yeah. So I think the PYA, I mean, I would say because of the sort of wealth of history that the organization has. I mean, we've got a big group of PYA counselors who are all ex-crew members who assist with our member assistance, our member advice team. So, when a question comes through from a crew member, we've got this wealth of connections, not only within the yachting community from partner organizations, but we've also got a range of ex-crew and current crew, to be honest, who we can draw upon for information and advice. So I think that it's a huge benefit. So if you are, if you feel like you're alone in the yachting industry, the PYA is that one organization where we really are a group of crew who are there to support and advise crew. We're not for profit, so we are a registered charity. So commercially, we have to function in that capacity. So yeah, I think what sets us apart is we are purely crew for crew organization.
And you have been actually very, very active just this last little while. You've been doing webinars and just really getting out there. Can you tell us sort of what you've been up to?
Yes, so I think, as we're moving more and more into the digital realm of working, and I think specifically for yacht crew who are based worldwide, I think we have tried to enhance our communications to not only our members, but sort of the wider crew industry by producing, first and foremost, we do a weekly newsletter which includes updates on regulations from authorities, but general updates from your yachting organizations and just world news that affects the functioning of the industry. I think as we've moved into the era of COVID-19, where a lot of crew have been stuck on board or stuck on shore in lockdowns, I think we've realized the need to bring the community together in a space where for the beginning, when we did our first webinar, we didn't have, I would say, any solid answers or information for crew. I think at that time we really just wanted to provide a space where, number one, crew could recognize that there was this organization which had, a wealth of connections within the industry that may not have had the answers, but we were able to discuss them. And I think that was one important aspect we wanted to do, was we wanted crew to know that yet you might be feeling like you're the only one who doesn't know what's going on, but I think generally there was that sense of unknowns. I think as we've moved on, we are following up with every bi-weekly we're doing a webinar, and we're trying to answer those unknowns. So last week we were already able to give a really solid update on some of the regulations that had been updated. A lot of countries are going from full lockdown into sort of partial lockdowns, into sort of phases of deconfinement. So we're not only giving crew just general information on that, but how those phases of deconfinement are affecting the operation of the yachting industry. So in addition to us as the PYA being on our webinar, we have a range of partners who we promote actively on our website and their services. And so we invited a lot of our partners to those webinars. So we had updates from YPI crew on recruitment. So we discussed a lot of the questions that were coming through from both our members, but crew in general. We also had BWA Yachting, who's a yacht agent, who provided a really comprehensive breakdown of the exact regulations in not only every country. I think specifically the focus is on the Mediterranean because we're embarking on that season, but also on, what's interesting at the moment is every single port has slightly different regulations. So I think this is where we really want to provide a service to crew in that, we've obviously got our core services that we offer in terms of sea service verification, and there's a number of other services we offer. But I think that at this time, we really see that it's important that an organization like the PYA, who hasn't got any particular commercial interests, who is literally a charity there to help inform crew, sort of comes forward and creates this space of sort of what we hope is positive discourse for the industry, so that we can move back into a place where we're back into active yachting, because I think that's what everyone really wants right now.
I think everybody's dying to get back out on the water. It's been a long haul, and especially during this season. I mean, it should have started 2 months ago, really, sort of the beginning of the season. And
yeah, I mean, and maybe just touching on what you've just said there, I think a lot of people are, there's a lot of concerns at the moment. In our last webinar, we had a representative from ICE1, which is the mental health charity for seafarers globally. So if those of you watching don't know, there is actually a helpline available to all crew, and we've got the We've got the direct link to that helpline on our website. But essentially, ICE One is there to serve crew who, are stuck in a difficult situation and need support. So their helpline is 24/7. And they came on our webinar and they were telling us about some of the issues that crew were coming to them with during the time. Obviously, their helpline is confidential, so they weren't able to discuss too many details. But I think in general, they just stated that, I think like the rest of the world, I mean, particularly in yachting, crew are worried about their income, but then also a lot of them are stuck away from family and friends. So I think that sense of isolation is, it's really difficult for crew at this time. So I think that's just one thing I wanted to say, in addition to advice and support services, I think mental health is another big area that the PYA campaigns for within the yacht industry.
Well, I think that's brilliant because it has been a big issue and it's sort of really come to the forefront in the last couple of years, and we've had a lot of tragedy. And it's really good to know that there is an organization out there. I do want, if you could provide us with that information so that we can post it with this interview, because, I think the whole point behind mental illness is that nobody really wants to talk about it. They're afraid that they'll be stigmatized because of it, and they won't get another job. They won't. There's so many fears that go around that, and I think it's such a shame.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I definitely think within an industry like the yachting industry, where it is so small and a lot of people, everyone sort of knows everyone really, I think, that stigma and that fear of being stigmatized is probably ever more, emphasized in the industry. But I think, we are working closer with ICE One, and we've got some plans for the future of how we can bring a better holistic service to the yachting industry. So we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with that. But I think, that was another key area I wanted to highlight. I mean, in terms of the sort of well-being and benefit of crew, another one of our services that I just wanted to touch on is our campaigning service with organizations who set, so regulatory bodies, in the UK, who set the terms at which yacht crew have to work by. So, I often see questions that get posted on social forums about, yacht crew not having many rights, or, a lot of people feel that even though they have a contract, they might not stand up if they had to challenge an employer on that contract. So I think what we're really aware of, and this is work that the PYA has been doing for a number of years, is we've been sending our representatives, so members who pay to be part of the membership, they help financially support us, go to regulatory bodies in the UK, and we lobby for the rights of crew. So we're really aware of what crew need in terms of, one of the things, we know that is a big issue in the industry is the amount of work and rest. So the long hours that crew work during high seasons, and those type of things are built into contracts. So, there are things like that crew can come to the PYA with, and when there are those meetings where international regulatory bodies discuss how they can improve crew contracts and regulations, we are there and we're speaking on behalf of crew.
Well, that's amazing, and it's not that much money. I mean, when you consider how much yachting usually pays, it's very insignificant to have that amount of help at your fingertips when you need it for whatever reason, whether it be legal, whether it be repatriation, whether it be the mental health. The fact that there is a body there that is a registered charity that is there for you, that should give you a lot of peace of mind at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, Ria. I think our membership has a lot of benefits. So I encourage anyone who's not quite sure of what the PYA does, take a look at our website, and you can have a look, or even get in touch and have a quick chat with us. But I think we do advise crew on a number of different matters, and specifically during COVID-19, a lot of crew haven't understood really sort of what their rights are, and we've got professionals who advise crew on those matters. So for one membership fee, you get a range of different services, and I think a lot of people might find that during times where the industry is in a good place and it's busy and it's buoyant and there aren't any sort of problems as such, I think organizations like the PYA may be forgotten. But I think specifically during COVID-19, we've had so many requests come through and so many crew have been stuck in difficult situations. So I think, it's so important to support, organizations who are supporting the industry.
Well, for sure, because if you don't support them in the good times, they're not going to be there in the bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, we like I said, we are literally a crew for crew organization. So the more crew that support us, the better and the bigger we can become. And, the better regulations that crew will be able to work by, but also the more work that we can do to just enhance the working conditions that crew have to work under.
Brilliant. Well, Stacey, do you know what? I would really appreciate if, any things that you have coming up, if you could send them to me and we could let the audience know that they can tune in or where to go or what the next step is for the PYA. Because it does sound like you are offering services that, at some stage, and I guarantee you, everyone will need a service like yours at one stage in their career or another. It's not a never ever going to happen. It's when it's going to happen.
Exactly. And, I think, we're different to other organizations in that we're not a union, so we don't act in that capacity, but we act in a capacity where crew can literally send us a question on possibly any topic, and even if we don't have an advisor on hand who might be able to answer the question directly, we have such a wealth of connections with current ex-crew and yachting organizations that we will be able to find the answer and give you that assistance. So I think, we definitely say to crew, don't wait until you're in a bad position. The PYA can help you. And I think on that point, as part of our membership, we have legal defense insurance. So that's one thing, as well, about not waiting until, things go bad. I think it's important to get yourself aligned with a body who can not only advise you on, the best steps to take if you're in a sticky situation, but also if you do unfortunately land yourself in the position where you need to go into a process of legal defense, the PYA has got that insurance as part of their membership. So yeah, I mean, I think we've had so many emails from crew over the years. We understand, at a deep level what the issues are that crew face. Not only because we've got first-hand experience from it, having ex-crew and current crew in the organization, but because we've had to assist so many people in difficult circumstances. So mental illness is one thing that, is a big issue that's been highlighted. I think a year or two back, we sent out a survey on sexual harassment in the industry. So that's another sort of area we're looking into and how that affects crew. So these are things that, we're working on. And I mean, we'll definitely send you updates to events that we'll be hosting. I think it's most likely that we're going to be hosting a lot of online events this year, just because of the limited capacity at which everyone can sort of function at the moment with COVID-19. But I think, we'll have a webinar coming up in not this week, but next week, which follows on some of the regulations that are affecting crew right now, specifically in the Mediterranean. And we'll hopefully have sort of larger events that crew can attend in time to come, which discuss more sort of complex issues. So watch the space.
Well, the webinars, are they for everybody, or do you have to be a member to get into the webinar?
So we are making them available to everyone because
Okay.
I think we just feel that at this time it's better to have more people informed than less. And obviously, while it's available to members as well, we are offering it to all members. I mean, one thing that has become apparent is whilst we can offer blanket advice to everyone, I think what's apparent is that if you are stuck in a difficult position, you do need that personalized advice. So hopefully the webinars can give crew a little bit of insight into what direction they need to go. So we're sort of giving them that signposting. But I think only members at this time can reach out to get that personalized advice. So all our webinars recently have offered crews a 20% discount on our membership. So yeah, so obviously that's a great benefit. But I think if someone is really in a difficult position, the PYA is not going to turn you away just because you're not a member. But obviously, we need finances to function. So obviously, becoming a member is really important. And in terms of the benefits that are part of becoming a member of the PYA, I think our membership fee isn't very high in terms of what a crew get back.
Well, and at the end of the day, if you watch one of these webinars or participate in one of these webinars and you feel that you have received something, it would only make sense that you would go over and sign up.
Yeah, definitely. And, we've had a lot of positive response, not only from crew, but from, I think, organizations within the industry who are themselves looking for answers and updates. So I think it's been really worthwhile. And I think it sort of follows on our overall goal of providing more information to crew. And, I think I invite any crew member out there who wants to be involved. If you want to be involved in the PYA and help give back to yachting, definitely reach out, because that's another thing that we offer. We offer crew who want to, get involved and give back and offer service to their fellow crew members to do that on behalf of the PYA.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Stacey, so much for your time. It's really muchly appreciated. Once again, this has been Stacey from the PYA. If you are interested in what she's been saying today, we're going to provide all the information below this interview, so you can contact them, as well as where you can get a hold of the webinars. So thanks again. And you've been watching another edition of Palma Yacht Crew Vlogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I've been your host. We'll see you next episode.